I can't stop thinking about that Lakers team. Man, if it's the Lakers versus Celtics, I'm gonna kill myself, man. I'm gonna kill myself.
That is maybe the worst possible outcome of
Yeah,
this season.
especially
Like,
when your team is the worst team in the league, with
mm,
no hope,
mm,
with no hope. I have no hope,
mm.
and then I have to deal with this. And
And welcome back to another episode of the NBA Roundup on your favorite couch potatoes. We got Philly Sam, we got Shawnee Boy back, and let's talk some basketball news. Let's start with some WNBA news. Legend, some say GOAT of all time, Diana Taurasi retires after 20 seasons in the WNBA. 11-time All-Star, 3-time WNBA champion, and the all-time leading scorer for the WNBA. Man, sad to see her go.
yeah, right, Mr. Rossi, this Miller Lite is for you. I'm sure you've drank a lot of these at the backyard barbecues with your girlfriends.
What?
This Cadbury egg is for you. Sorry, I got hungry all of a sudden, man. I'm sorry. You may want to start over. I'm sorry.
That's quite the resume. That is quite the resume that we have. That is worth the.
She
the
has
crack of the
11
crack
All-Stars
Cadbury
to her
egg.
name. She has 3 championships and 1 Miller Lite from Syme, as well as a Cadbury.
And a Cadbury egg. Yeah, can't forget the egg. That's
Nope, incredible basketball player. I remember actually. I think she was UConn, she was UConn, and she was kind of in some of those pioneering draft classes where the WNBA was starting to pick up some I mean, that's how I remember it. They were starting to pick up some traction. Incredible player. I think she was on the Olympic team, four-time Olympic team, or
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I think you're right. Yeah.
impressive
I
lady.
did not believe she did play for fucking UConn has a pipeline for the
Yep.
WNBA.
I remember it well, man.
Yep.
I remember it well.
Man, that's crazy. Hey, shout out to her. It's definitely going to be a different league, but honestly, I think the WNBA is in a better spot than it's ever been. 100%. I mean, the Angel Reese clips that come through my timeline every day.
You have to admit that WNBA is like peaking right now, at least so far. It's upward trajectory. It's going to continue, I think. But they have got some great players coming in between Caitlin Clark and
Angel Reese,
and then what's her the blonde girl? I can't think of her name. Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink.
Yeah. They've got some ballers out there, man. There's a handful of them, and I'm pretty excited. I think last year they were bringing in probably actual revenue as a league, which is awesome. Like they're bringing in profits rather than just like making sure that they're staying afloat. So that's really cool, and I think that the future is bright for them, even with losing a GOAT candidate player. I think they're in a great spot. So that's cool.
I'll tell you, you put a good game on now. I'm watching that thing, man. I'm not kidding. If they package a game right, I'm gonna watch that sucker, man. I'm loving it, man. These girls, their ball skills, my God, the game is just taking off leaps and bounds, man. It's a great game, man.
Yeah.
Is it arguable that it's a better product than the NBA right now?
There was people saying that last season. Seriously, there was games getting more viewership with the WNBA when it was like a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese game than some of these NBA games. Like they are starting to break barriers. It's actually really cool. Like it's worth watching. That ball is seriously evolving over in the WNBA.
Yep.
Yeah, man, 100%. Let's shift from groundbreaking news to groundbreaking news. So the highest viewed game in the NBA was, like we referenced to last podcast, Lakers and Mavs. It was the best viewed game since opening night for the NBA. Luka's return to playing his former team. It was in LA. Syme, you did hammer the over. Did not hit. Luke only had, I think,
Well,
19.
thank you for noticing, man. I lost a lot of money on that, man.
Crazy.
I was not wanting to think about that again, man. He scored 19 points, man.
He had
Braun
a
went
triple double, right? He had a triple double.
Triple
right?
double.
I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not a
Oh,
bad game.
man. I thought he was going to go. I thought he wanted to go off.
I thought so too, but Braun kind of ended up taking the main point. He had 27 and 12. Yeah, and like you said, Luka had the triple double.
Yeah.
You know what I want to say, dude? Sean, we were talking about it the other day. When this trade came through, I was like, Luka and Braun play the same position. They're the same player. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
What did Syme say? Talk about predicting the future. Who is your Western Conference champion? It was the LA Lakers. They're looking real good right now, dude. And Luka and Braun, holy shit, that's a duo, dude. These full court passes, I mean, it's like it's on the same level, I think. And we're obviously it's still so fresh, but the Dwayne Wade, LeBron kind of dynamic where they just had this, they just knew where each other were gonna be. They both understand the game. These full court passes, I've never seen this in the NBA. Luka passing to Braun, and Braun now can do a whole nother thing he's never been able to do: play off ball, and he looks pretty damn good off ball. He's had some good performances. So, these Lakers, man, they look a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
I feel like the obvious thing that everyone was thinking about was the defensive impact of what happened. AD is a borderline defensive player of the year almost every year. And then also playing great offense all the time his entire career. So you're losing a dynamic player and getting Luka, who's like almost all offense. You're scared about the defensive impact, and their defense has actually been excellent since the trade. So I think that there's an attention to detail on that team right now. I was worried about JJ Redick early on. I think JJ Redick has done a great job with the Lakers this season. They're playing harder than they usually do. It seems like. I think that they're pretty bought in right now, and I think Luka coming to the team excites everyone. So I think that they're just they've got a vibe going right now, and that's the best thing you can have. It's about the best thing you can have when you're trying to win some games is a good vibe. So I like that.
What do you think, Syme? What do you think about this?
My God, I think that LeBron can play in any situation, and you can't judge him on this under the same lens as like, hey, is this team going to have continuity? Because he just sees that the one thing he can do is he sees the game better than anyone in the game right now. You know what I mean? He could probably coach the damn team. He may actually be coaching the damn team.
Dude, there's actually a clip. You remember that Court of Gold thing I was telling you about on Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
He said he would want to coach Team USA.
Yo, the guy...
He definitely could. He definitely could.
Floor general. This team might go all the way, boys. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, man.
You know what?
Dude, Luka just made it to the finals, man. Luka, the guy's a great player, man. And LeBron is not washed. I can't believe he's not washed. I don't know what demon he's having relations with. I have no idea, man. He is unbelievable.
They call it German PEDs. That's what they're calling them.
I guess, man. My God.
That man's never going to retire. He's going to be scoring 30 points per game until...
Bro, he's on the same
forever,
Make the NBA podcast a NFL podcast, but he's the same as Brady, bro. I think he's going to quit before he has to.
He's the outlier. He's the outlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He could play 5-6 more years at least.
Mm-hmm.
At least. We were talking about that fucking dunk against Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. He's getting up. He's still getting up.
No idea.
He's 40 years old.
How many players have actually played
Carter?
at 40? Yeah,
exactly.
Carter, right?
Jordan did play at 40. Definitely didn't look like that at 40.
No.
I remember Vince Carter playing. He was like the oldest guy to ever play.
Yep.
Vince Carter could barely touch the rim.
And he was a dunker.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
Yeah. Yep.
This guy's insane, man.
Yeah,
Some
it's
might say
insane.
It makes
the
no
GOAT.
sense. It makes no sense.
No, doesn't make any sense, man.
It's awesome though. We have to enjoy it while it lasts because it's got to be coming to its end in the next couple of years.
I think he said he would end it in the next 2 years at most, which is sad, man. Like that's the thing. Who's gonna be the guy after Braun? They asked Anthony
Edwards,
Edwards about being the face of the league, and he said he doesn't want to. And then they asked Braun about that, and he was like, "Yeah, I understand. Everybody's shitting on the league these days, as we are, dude. Like, and to be fair, yeah, of course we're shitting on the league, man. Like, we just watched that stupid All-Star performance. We're watching people chuck up threes, and now a dude like Anthony Edwards says, "I don't want to be face of the league."
It's a hard time.
That's insane. How do
It's
you
a hard
even
time
say
in the
that?
league.
Man, I can't stop thinking about that Lakers team. Man, if it's the Lakers versus Celtics, I'm gonna kill myself, man. I'm gonna kill myself.
That is maybe the worst possible outcome of this season.
Especially
Like,
when your team is the worst team in the league
Mm.
with no hope.
Mm.
With no hope. I have no hope.
Mm-mm.
And then I have to deal with this. And by the way, the Nuggets Celtics tonight, man. That might be a good one. Gonna be a good one.
That should be a good one.
Good
Speaking
one.
of the Nuggets, dude, Jokic is on a tear right now.
Yeah.
He's just triple-double
Always.
every single game pretty much. He just dropped his career-high 19 assists the other night to give them their 10th win in 11 games, and I'm pretty sure the only loss they had in that stretch was the Lakers, who happened to get their number that night. But I think that's the only team, like when we're talking about it, when you look at the Western Conference standings, you look at the Thunder, who are on a really good run right now, really good. But when you, like we're talking about with LeBron, all that experience, I don't know. The Nuggets have that. The Nuggets are definitely veterans at this point.
But we also know that Luka can play in the playoffs, man. I can't believe what the Mavericks did. This is the stupidest thing I've had. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know who said it best? It was actually Dwayne Wade. D Wade said it on his, I don't know whose podcast, but he hopped on and said it was billionaire business. And that's exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with the players at all. It's all about making money for these billionaires that are owning these teams, man. It's really sad because, I mean, it's cool that the Lakers are the biggest market, okay? That's where every player is trying to make it to. But Luka, in those pressers, for example, he did not look thrilled to be there at the time. It's not like he was ready. He was totally blindsided by this. It's too bad to see a team like that that's going to struggle now. They're not going to be a great team for a long time. And Luka was going to give them greatness for another 10 plus years. So it's tough. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, that's what when Nico the GM said, like, oh, I was worried about him re-signing the fuck out of here, dude. He was going to sign the Supermax with you. You could have had a generational player. I mean, like you said, Simon, like if we look at it, Jokic is the only other player in the NBA right now that you can say definitively is better than Luka, maybe. You know what I mean? Like Luka is that type of guy.
Yeah.
To give him away for Anthony Davis, who we've talked about is all defense, all this, all that injuries. He played one game for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Most of that game, actually.
How about conference finals? Lakers, Nuggets. How fun would that be, man?
That would be awesome.
Tell me about it, right?
They got 4-0 last time, right?
Hey,
Lakers are only a one game behind the Nuggets right now for the second seed.
Bro, I'm telling you, man.
Who out of those two teams, who's beating OKC though? Like,
I think both.
Probably
of
the
them.
Lakers.
I think both of them, Sean. We talked about this last week. I go with the experience factor. I have nothing. I have nothing to base. The Thunder's. You know what I mean? I need a little bit of playoff success, and that's me. I could be wrong, but
crotchety old man.
Well, and you got to think. The Lakers now have two proven winners in the playoffs. So I mean, you're gonna have a lot of I totally agree. I just think the OKC looks awesome right now. But to your point, they totally choked in the playoffs last year. They didn't have that experience. That's exactly what it came down to. So
Yeah.
you're onto something here, I think. But
Like, well,
I think OKC, like in my brain, could be any of these teams. But in the playoffs, it's a different game. It's a totally different
I
game.
think we're talking about, it's almost like shifting back to our NFL focus. It's almost the same as the Thunder have. If you think about it, the Thunder have the Philadelphia Eagles team where they have players top to bottom of that roster.
Yeah.
It is filled. You
Yep.
know what I mean? SGA is the guy. Chet is as best your number 2 as you're going to get in the league. Jalen Williams is their
J-Dub,
number
baby.
3, and he's an all-star. You know what I mean? And they filled out that entire roster, but they don't have Jokic. But they don't have Braun. They don't have Luka, right? You know what I mean? I think that's where we're at. I think the Thunder are the best team, but you can't. And I think more in the NBA than in the NFL, the players matter more. Like the individual matters more in the NBA.
yes.
Like Luka and Braun and Jokic are going to be able to take over a game more than Patrick Mahomes can, right?
Yeah.
Less people on the court, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I would say this, maybe one of the X factors will be, I mean, that Oklahoma team they're young and they can run the floor. I mean, it also depends on how much juice people have at the end of the year, too. You know, are the Nuggets are a little bit older. Are they going to be tired in a 7-game series or whatever? But I mean, that's all speculative.
Murray's starting to pop off again. We we talk about it every fucking
broken
year.
play,
This guy,
dude.
he disappears, and then all of a sudden, around playoff time, Jamal Murray shows up, and
Yeah.
bro, he looks like Michael Jordan. I mean, remember watching Sean? I know you know this. Fucking the COVID series, that playoff series might have been the greatest playoff series of all time. That's never going to be talked about. The Nuggets and the Jazz, but Murray just
All-time duel. That's an all-time
could
duel.
not miss.
Yeah.
Could not miss. Murray versus Donovan was insane. But
Those two were probably averaging 40 points per game in that series.
oh yeah,
Because
it was
they
like
were just going
45. Like they were
back and forth.
crazy.
Jamal
And
Murray is one of the all-time playoff risers. Like, seriously. He goes from invisible, like almost a problem for the team early in the season to like an X factor. Like
there were like rumors of like start Westbrook over Murray.
That's
you
how
know
bad
what I
it was
mean?
going.
And I think Westbrook's still doing good, but on the bench, and that's his role now. You know what I mean? But like, it's crazy that was like a real thing. But now he's performing. But yeah, you're looking at it, man. The Thunder are going to be the 1 seed in the West. I mean, they got a 9.5 game lead right now. Like that's not going to be taken away. But you got 2 Nuggets, 9.5 back, and then the Lakers are 1 game back. The Grizzlies are 1 game back, and then the Rockets are 2 games back. So that 2 through 5 is still up in the air. You're talking about how seeding goes down, and Sean, you know it better than anybody that you get that 4 seed. It's a tough place to be, because if you're that 4 seed, you get home field or home court for the first round, and then what do you get?
Then it's the
you
top
got to go to
team.
number 1.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's a tough spot.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But the Lakers are hot right now, man. They won 4 straight. They got a win over the Timberwolves, where man, that was a scene. And you guys know how much a fan I am of Anthony Edwards, but that whole throwing the ball into the stands, holding the ball for like 3-4 minutes, just walking around the court, like what are you doing here? And he got a 16th tech, which is the threshold for a 1 game suspension, which ended up fucking the Utah Jazz, which we'll get into a little bit later, I guess. But he missed the game against the Utah Jazz.
He just didn't want to go to Utah. He was like, "I'm gonna pick up that 16 tonight. I'm gonna make that happen."
He's like holding the ball. He's like, "Are you guys gonna suspend me yet?
Kick me out."
Okay, well, hold on to it a little bit longer, little bit longer. No, man, those Timberwolves are, again, it's crazy. The Timberwolves are down at 9. 32-29 this season.
Yeah.
What's going on with them?
They're not the same team without Cat. They should never have traded Cat for Julius Randle, man. That was a bad play. He's in every way worse than Karl Anthony Towns. I think
You
from
could
top
not
to
have
bottom,
put that better.
they are a worse team now, and I think it's completely related to that, and that's about it, in my opinion. But yeah, they're not the same team. They're not gonna have a deep run in the playoffs. I don't think they're not that team right now. There's no way.
Yeah. Hey, it was pretty interesting. Like teams are going to start to turn up the screws now, and this Sunday we got Denver, Oklahoma City.
Ooh,
That should be a good one. And then
a few big ones.
And next Friday, LA. We get to see the Lakers play against Denver. I want to see it.
Those could be some serious games where you're going to see what could
Yes.
potentially be happening here. You know, it's a month away.
Exactly, Sean. This is when they start playing right now and try to get psychological with other teams. I'm a little bit excited. I'm just. Oh yeah, we got some good stuff coming up here.
We gotta put on this Nuggets Celtics game right now. It's 97-91 right now. The Celtics up 6 with 4 minutes left. But let's talk about the interesting stuff, the Tankathon, which we're all very, very interested in, man. We had a tough couple days, Simon. All three of us. Jazz won, and the Sixers won in the past 2 days. The fuck are we doing? And that's what I was just referencing. Like, we lost by 1 point. We lost by 1 point to the Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards last night? 2 nights ago, whatever it was. And that puts us in an interesting predicament, man, because we're in that top 3 pick that we were talking about, which thank you, Simon, for educating me. I had no idea what the fuck the NBA
It's the same, man.
lottery is. But yeah, the top three. Big game. Pelicans and Jazz play tonight.
Ooh.
Tankathon update.
Tankathon, yeah.
Yes, sir. That is going to be a game. Sean,
Zion,
you might know
Zion's
this.
playing, right?
Zion is playing.
Yeah.
He just had a triple-double last game.
Yeah, no, he's not going to stop playing. I don't. Yeah,
he's got something to prove just individually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not happy right now, Kyle. I'm telling you. Here's the problem. In my opinion, of those 6 or 7 teams that are at the bottom, I'm not gonna like what happened. We're the best of those teams. We have some talent on the floor, even with
you are. Of course you are. Simon, what the fuck are you even talking about? You have 3 all-stars on your team. Of course you're the best.
Well,
of course you're the best.
Embiid is.
What are you talking about?
Embiid is gone. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we're not going to make the cut, man. You guys are going to get the pick. We're going to probably finish outside of the top 6, man.
Yeah.
mean, we're losing some games right now. We should be. I think with this Embiid thing, we've been in such disarray. But now that he's gone, we're going to win some games, man. And we're going to be out of the Tankathon series. That sucks, man. I'm so unhappy.
You know why you're going to start winning? Paul George, he quit podcasting.
That's
He
right.
is dialed in. He's looking for dubs. He wants that play-in game. He would love it. I think I don't know why. But.
I think I just have a feeling we might go on like we might go like 6-4 maybe in the next 10. That's what I'm thinking.
I could see that.
I do. Actually. I think we're going to win some games, man, unfortunately.
I think you'll pass the Bulls. I think you're going to end up in a play-in game. I
think we might too, and I'm sad.
It's remember what happened last year? Joel Embiid actually had a good series against the Knicks in the first round, I believe.
Yeah.
When it was like the 2 versus 7 seed game, and it just wasn't enough. And now you don't even have great. Joel. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
And not that he's had a season to talk about anyway. He's been.
Yeah. Did you hear what they're talking about with him? So he saw 10 surgeons. 10. Okay. Like, that means something's really going on here, and they're thinking like a meniscus replacement. Like this is like radical surgery, like literal. They are replacing this cartilage connective band with like non-cartilage connect. Like this is not a surgery that you do. It's the end, boys. It's the
Mm.
end, man.
That's what he started his career with, was it not?
This
He's been
this
His
in
rookie
knee
year,
is
back.
he missed the entire year because of his
yeah.
foot or something, and then
But this is bad, man.
career ending. You think?
I think it's gonna be bad. But I just read this article that like, let's say he does a surgery and he just blows next year and he can't play anymore. I think the way that the Sixers, they said, have some kind of grievance they could file where they could get rid of his contract, which would be awesome.
That I
Wow.
mean, I think in the next he still has 3 years in this contract.
Bro,
So
this is why I'm depressed, man.
it's it's increase. It's like 55 million plus a year.
Bro, yeah,
Not to
and
rub
then
it in. I'm sorry, but
Paul George, we have
uh,
it just sucks so bad, man.
you're in a hole so
It's a
deep right
hole.
now.
It's so deep,
That is
hopeless,
too many big contracts.
so
Oh
bad, man.
man.
You
So
know
bad.
what? It's not that bad. All right. It's not historically bad. Do you want to hear historically bad? Let's talk
I'd
about the
love to.
Charlotte Hornets.
I'd love to.
So, since we last recorded a podcast, the Hornets have lost back to back to back games, 3 games in a row by 53 points,
Oh,
42 points, and 36 points.
Ooh.
That is the worst points per game differential
wow.
of all time. Negative 131 points in that
Whoa.
3-game stretch.
What happened?
And they also gave the Wizards their first win in, I don't know, a couple months. Just the other day. Holy shit. And LaMelo's playing. I don't know that they have any injuries. That's talk about bad. That's bad. Very bad.
That is really bad. 6-game losing streak for them right now. Wow.
Yeah.
They're deep. They are.
My
They,
God, yeah, they're horrible.
I don't think they have anything going for them right now other than I think LaMelo's good, but I don't think he's like there's nothing going on other than that. That's one player. There's no defense going on. Like it's a tough scene over there. It's really bad.
What is it? Just players are giving up? Like it's just a give up? Is it? Well, I mean, what is it?
Bad for so long. I bet they're just there's nothing to keep them even interested. It feels like they're just hoping for a good draft pick at this point, right?
Well, yeah, they're the fourth. They're the fourth pick right now.
They're
I
fourth right
think.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Second.
horrible, dude.
they're
Oh, they.
bad.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at.
Tankathon.
Yeah,
my
3
favorite
days.
page.
I'm looking at
You're
3
right.
days ago.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
right. You're
okay.
right. They have 14 wins right now this season, and the Jazz have 15. So
Stupid fucking Timberwolves, man. You got to be kidding me. I mean, like Sean, I think you texted me when we were recording a podcast when we played the Blazers a week ago or whatever it was, and we barely lost to them, right? It was a perfect game where it's
perfect
like, oh
though.
yeah, we're pretending, and then we lost. And then we got our ass kicked by the Kings, which I was actually kind of worried about that team, but Zach LaVine is actually performing for him. He had like 40 or something for it, 45. I can't remember, but he's going off for him. And yeah, and then since the last podcast, we lost to the Kings, we lost to the Blazers, and then we beat the Timberwolves.
Ugh.
And then since the last podcast, the 76ers lost. They had 9 straight wins before, unfortunately, Simon, that streak was broken, like we talked about with Quentin
Yeah.
Grimes dropping
Unbelievable.
44 points against Steph Curry and the Warriors, who are on a run right now, man.
Mhm,
And the since the Jimmy Butler trade, Simon, relish in this. You're one of their only 2 losses since Jimmy Butler has been traded.
All right. All right. That's pretty cool, man.
mhm.
Bro, I swear to God, I didn't even know we had Grimes. I didn't even know we had
Nobody
him.
did. That's what
Bro,
I
didn't even
told
know we
Sean
had
this
him.
morning. I was like, dude, yeah, I just saw the Sixers just won last night. And he was like, oh, really? How'd they do that? It's like Quentin Grimes scored 44 points. And I think Sean's just Quentin Grimes is on the
first
Sixers.
thing I said. First thing I said. He's on the
Yeah.
Sixers, huh? Yeah.
I mean, to
Crazy.
score 44, you're like the featured offensive piece. I mean, to score 44.
Because his
You've
Max
got-
is
you-
still
you-
out, right?
I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares?
I don't know.
We got to. I think Maxi is out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Didn't he have like a season-ending injury?
No.
I don't think he was season-ending. No.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. I looked into it. It looks like he's got a finger injury still going right now. So yeah, nothing. Oh, and it says he's out tonight with a quad contusion. So he's just got. This sounds like resting almost.
Tankathon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
maybe.
That's what we talked about with the Jazz. You're going to see all of these long, like Lowry. Lowry's had a back injury for 7 months, I think.
Yeah, but you see,
Keeps hurting.
they're supposed to have all these rules in place where if you get caught doing a tankathon, how is Charlotte not tankathoning right now? How is that not a tankathon? That doesn't make any
Like
sense
8 years.
to lose by 40 points for 3 consecutive games. That's madness.
No,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. You
agree.
can say that like you're missing a game for rest. Like that gets listed on the injury report. And then even if you want to like go above that, it's back soreness.
Okay.
Foot, like we talked about with LeBron in the All-Star game. Foot soreness. Like you can put any injury as soreness and then they get listed out for the game.
Yeah. Like that yeah. I think that was the I think what's his name started that. Pop started that, I think, with like Tim Duncan and stuff like that, and then the league started changing the status. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about
that's
that.
the
Pop
beginning.
did used to do. Pop
That's the
started
beginning
that.
of the load management, man.
Was that with Kawhi or did he do it before that even?
No, it
I
was
think
with.
about Kawhi-ish.
Was it Kawhi? I thought it was.
like rookie Kawhi?
Yeah, but it was all those guys were getting old, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it was right at the end of like Parker and Ginobili and those guys, and he was strategically, you know what I mean, resting them. And that team was so deep, he could still do that, and he could do load management and win.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that the team was so deep, and God, I love those Spurs teams. I talk about
They're
just a
great time.
solid roster. My God,
Their run, like it doesn't get talked about enough. You want to talk about
Yeah.
dynasties? I mean,
Yeah.
from what 98 or something until 2014, they were competing every single year. They won what 5 championships during that.
How many does
run?
Timmy have?
they've won 5 championships, but that was not with that whole crew. I think that crew, because they won
That
with
was
Dave.
Tim
mid-2000s.
Duncan has 5.
Yeah, Tim Duncan has five.
Because he was in the he was the
Yeah.
first guy with David Robinson, and then there was this little gap, and then the team went through a rebuild, and they kind of had another thing going there, didn't they? Like a 3-year break or
Yeah,
something like
they won,
that. And
they won 99, and then they won 2003.
That's what I thought.
2005,
Yeah.
2007, and then
Woo!
7 years, and then they won in 2014.
my
Or
God,
at least when Tim Duncan won. Yeah.
is he going to come back, man? I don't know if Pop's coming
No.
back, man.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
I don't
so.
know if we talked about that on this pod, but he is
No.
officially out for the season.
Yeah,
Right.
that's not looking good, man.
I think that's it for him, right? Like I don't see that happen.
Dude, he had a freaking stroke, man. My
Yeah.
God.
Why would you? He's like in his 70s as well,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
I find it very unlikely he comes
You ever
back.
see him ball out, man? My God, he can play basketball, man.
Really? He
It's
can ball,
not-
huh?
He's 70, Kyle. Don't laugh, dude. He's 70 years
I'm
old.
not laughing. Hey, I'm not laughing at Pop. That's not what I'm laughing at.
What was that?
I was just acknowledging what you were saying. I was like, dude, he's 70. That's insane.
That's crazy, man.
That is awesome.
I would never
Yeah.
disrespect Pop.
That's a guy
man.
in good health too.
Yeah, he's coming across the middle, shooting up these Magic Johnson hook shots and shit.
Heck yeah. It's too
So
bad.
yeah.
Strokes are horrible too. It really
Dude, and
changes
what
a
the
person.
Spurs could have been, now they're in tanking mode as well. Like they were. I thought
Yeah.
like a 6 seed team. Like
What are
that
they're like? What are they like? They're almost
25
10
and
games under
33
five.
right now.
Yeah, they're almost
Mhm.
10 games under. Yeah,
They
Yeah.
are
they're not
five
even
and a
mid
half
pack.
games out
Yeah,
of the play-in. Five and
Yeah,
a half
yeah.
games. So they're
they're
not going to
done.
make the play-in. They're
No,
done.
They're done.
no.
Man, that is tough.
Yeah.
Right after they make that trade, too, that trade could have propelled them to make a little bit of a run for the playoffs.
Right,
And
and
then
then Wemby has that
Wemby going down
plug
is like,
hats.
Yeah.
Dude, neither of you have watched Court of Gold yet, right? I know I keep
No.
talking about it.
uh-uh.
Have to.
Okay, I'll
Have
watch
to.
it. Yeah, I'll
On
watch it.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It is about the last Olympic run. Wemby is going to be that guy that you can tell. The
Yeah.
USA team actually cared. Dude, KD's clips are insane. It
That's
was
awesome.
dude. Because the term, or like the narrative they spin out is that, oh yeah, the USA team comes together at 3 weeks before the Olympics and they don't have any chemistry. We've been playing together since we were 15. Katie said, that's fun. I hope that chemistry helps when you have to guard Steph. And then we saw what Steph did in those last 2 games of the fucking Olympic run, man. Like,
It's really
fucking
cool.
insane. Dude,
It was super fun.
Steph's
Yeah.
on another level. And yeah, that was really cool to watch that Court of Gold. Got to relive it. Like, it really, they did a good job with that. Steph is different. Like, we were talking about that, Simon. Like, you're talking about generational or like impactful. Steph Curry's right up there with like with NBA athletes. We're talking Braun,
Yeah.
we're talking Jordan. Steph is right there. He just dropped 56 the other night.
Bro, he changed
12 threes.
Not many players changed the game. He changed the game. Now, if for better or for worse, man, what you're seeing right now is a product of everybody wanting to be like Steph Curry, man.
Exactly.
And it
Totally.
changed the game. And it's not his fault. He's unbelievable, but that he got copycatted.
Mhm.
And now isn't that so funny? We talk about who is the most impactful, and now the league is just different.
Yeah, it is.
Because of his ability to shoot the basketball.
And I'll say this. I don't know if you guys remember the shot over I think it was Batum and Fournier in the gold medal game, where it was almost similar to, you guys remember that Clippers clip where Steve Kerr is like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And he dribbled all behind his back, puts up a shot,
Gets through everyone.
makes
Yeah.
it right.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the same vibe, and Curry did that over Batum. And I remember this, and I will never forget this moment. We were in St. George, we're watching it live with the boys, and he just put that in. He just put that shot in, and Batum in that document talks about 99.99% of the players would not make that shot.
Yeah.
Only Stephen Curry's going to make that shot. So you talk about, he has changed the game for sure. We're shooting threes all the time now. That's where, but even at the clip that you can put it in, you want to talk about efficiency, whatever, all that.
Yeah.
Nobody can do what Curry does, man.
Nobody holds that gravity.
That is insane.
You know what's funny? I saw him play one time, man, and he was off. It was the weirdest thing. I went to the game.
He went to Utah. He was off too.
I'm telling you, he missed everything he was putting up. I couldn't believe it. I mean, everything. But man, when that guy gets on a heater, man, I don't know why he is different than everybody else. He just is.
Without Curry, USA is not gold medals champions.
Yeah.
1,000%.
He scored like 12
over.
points in 2 minutes in the last 2 minutes of that gold medal game. He had to win that game.
Bro, talk about a guy that can play for another 5 years.
Huh?
Right there, man.
He moves great.
Yeah, man. He moves great. He's got a small body. It doesn't have a ton of wear and tear. He doesn't bang. He can
And
keep
Jimmy
playing,
Butler
man.
helps him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to play on ball as much anymore.
Yep.
Jimmy can take over. That's another, dude. I might hand up. I've been wrong about the Warriors and the Lakers since both of these trades, man. They both look fucking good.
Who?
I agree. I was wrong. I was wrong too. I didn't think Butler would be a significant enough increase for their team to like make them look this much better. But thus far, I mean, it's been 10 games maybe since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, 7-2, and the Sixers have one of those losses.
Yeah, they're looking good. It's hard. That's 10 games now. I mean, Butler's only going to get more comfortable. So they might legitimately make a run here, which would
Yep.
I'm all for it. I would love to see Steph Curry in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
they're just a
He's
half
hard
a
to bet
game
against.
out of.
Speaking of people hard to bet against, that's one of those guys.
What was final score of the Denver game?
Celtics,
Oh, yeah.
and I think the Celtics won.
Yeah, 110-103. Yeah, 110.
Nice.
They collapsed against the Cavs the other night, by the way.
Yeah,
The
wasn't that
Cavs ended up
amazing,
winning.
man?
Cavs ended up winning that game that they were was it 25
Oh
to
my
3?
God! Yes, thank you
25
for bringing that up because
25 to 3?
I randomly, dude. I'm at work. I'm just going through my business, and then I get a notification that the Celtics are on fire. I'm like, all right, click this. Holy shit! The Celtics are beating the Cavs 25-3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, and immediately I was like, screenshot, send to the boys. And the Cavs end up winning that game, man. That's insane. Bro, the
Cavs look legit.
the narrative of, Jason Tatum he just puts himself in these scenarios where you end up, you want to be the best player in the league. You want to be, you want to be this guy, which he is the best guy on the best team. But they were talking at that 25-3 moment. They're like, can't remember what they're gonna say now. Like who's?
Oh yeah, it was.
now
Yeah, I
or
saw
something like
that. Yeah,
yeah.
dude, Spider.
And they end up losing that game.
Spider had the dagger, dude. Left hand off the glass. I don't know if you saw that. That was sweet, man.
That's signature. He loves that.
That
He
was
loves getting
sweet,
around
man.
there.
Fucking Spider, man.
I'm
player.
happy. I want them to make a run this year just because I love Spider so much. Coming from a
Yeah.
ex-Jazz player, obviously, but whew, does he play, man? He almost is underrated. He's not in any MVP conversations, nothing like that.
Yeah.
He's on the cusp, He's like one of those 5 through 10 guys right now in the league.
At least
But-
he's a perennial all-star now, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he deserves
when he was
it.
with the
He's amazing.
That's what
Yeah.
sucks about the Jazz. He was the same player with the Jazz. I think he's more polished now for
He's
sure.
better now.
He's
maybe a
definitely.
little more
I'm not.
efficient.
He's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I'm not saying he's like the exact same, but I think like
Yeah.
what he could do, his talent, like he had that with Utah, but now he's more consistent and but he still has those inconsistent nights. I remember.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sean, we talked about it early in the season. Like he'd have a 2 for 24. Not that.
He's
bad.
not
2 for
he's
18
not
or
afraid to
something.
shoot for
You're
sure.
right.
He's gonna keep shooting because he knows he's that guy. So, which is a good thing to have, honestly.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy, dude? And he came into the league. You want to talk about what we're talking about with Steph changing the game. In college, he couldn't shoot. He wasn't a shooter. He didn't
Yeah.
shoot threes. Even in his rookie year, Sean, he
30% or
could.
something. 20,
You know,
like 30%
he wasn't
kind of guy.
and
yeah.
now that's his main part of his game. Whereas when he was a rookie, he was a dunker. He was a finisher. That was, what we knew him for.
He still
That's how
loves
the
his.
game is changing, man.
I
And
mean,
now he
that's
can
why.
do both.
Yeah.
Now he can do both. Speaking of, we're talking about the Thunder. We're talking about young teams. What does Cavs team have any chance? Can they go? They just came back from 25-3.
Yeah, I think they could actually. I'm really high on the Cavs. I think with Mobley. Okay, Mobley is an all-star, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was an all-star this season. He is he's got the offense. He
So
plays.
is Garland, I think. So they have 3
Was he?
all-stars, right?
Was
I think.
Garland? I think you might be right. I seriously do think the Cavs have a legit chance in the East.
What other team besides Boston, right? It's Cleveland or Boston in the East,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, I'd say
Knicks.
I wouldn't want to play maybe Milwaukee. Maybe
Yeah.
they've won a couple, and
Yeah.
Milwaukee's won a couple big games lately.
Yeah, Milwaukee. They're hitting.
They
their
just
stride.
beat Denver.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, didn't they? Yeah, and Giannis went off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I saw people saying Giannis is still better than Jokic because of that game. I was like, okay. Hold on.
Jokic on a different level now, for sure.
Giannis
Yeah,
is unsung.
Yeah, Giannis and the Bucks just beat the Mavericks 29-9, and that's an off game for Giannis. But how about the Knicks too? We're talking about we were talking about the Timberwolves without Karl Anthony Towns. Look at the Knicks with Karl Anthony Towns.
Are they the
man.
3 seed right now?
Yeah, they look better than they have in a long ass time.
We almost beat them like 3 nights ago. I almost had a panic attack.
Not what you wanted to see. I could see the Knicks having a chance, and like you said, nobody wants to see the Bucks either. But I feel like the Celtics and Cavs do feel like they're on a little bit different level in the East.
100%.
I think so. Consistently
100%.
for sure. And the Celtics are going to be there. Joe
They have nothing
Mazzulla
to
doesn't
prove.
give a shit about anything until it gets to the playoffs. We all know
Yeah,
that.
of course, man.
Sean, we asked Syme and we asked Fies. So Syme had Celtics and Lakers in the finals. I have Celtics and Nuggets in the finals. That was my original pick. Sean, who is going to make the NBA finals from the East and West?
Oh, I'm excited about this, man.
That's a tough question. Just popping that on me right here, right now, huh?
Hey, man.
Come on now. Time's ticking. Come on.
Okay, I think out of the East, I mean, I was just talking them up. I seriously think that the Cavs have a chance.
That's not the question.
Oh, hang on, hold on. See, I'm gonna say Cavs. I'm gonna do it. I'm saying Cavs.
All
I will say the
right.
Cavs are going to come
Maybe.
out, and then
Say it. You haven't said it yet.
against. Are you ready for this? The Nuggets. I'm saying that the
Ooh.
Nuggets are going to come out. I think, dude, Jokic had to will his way into the first place in the MVP conversation because his game was so good that they had to be like, he's on a different level, you know? I'm going Nuggets, Cavs. I don't even know if I believe myself saying that right now.
What are our picks? Like, what are the 4 of our picks? So I'm Celtics Lakers. That's what I am. My worst nightmare come true.
Nuggets Celtics.
Nuggets Celtics. Okay.
Okay.
And Sean is Cavs.
Nuggets,
Nuggets.
And then
I think
feisty?
Feist was he Nuggets? I think he picked Nuggets. Or did he pick the Lakers? He definitely picked Celtics.
Okay. Well, I want. Listen.
We can switch it up.
I don't want this little sucker Fies to be freaking changing his mind. I want to know what he said because I know he's going to take my pick and say the Lakers now. I know he is.
Well,
because of LeBron. I want to know what he said.
Okay, yeah. I'll look back.
After the trade. I want to know what he said after the trade.
We need these receipts.
It was last episode we did that, and that was after the trade.
I want to know what he said.
Don't you remember he was like, my Thunder are just, the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
But LeBron's got Luka now, and yeah, he went through that. I think he picked Lakers over Thunder.
Did he? So he's Lakers Celtics. So I got the same pick as freaking Fies. Stupid. Never.
You might have to switch that up.
It's not happening.
You might have to switch that up.
Stupid.
Sean, what were you gonna say?
Before we talked earlier, I probably would have said OKC might, but I feel like you changed my mind on this like whole perspective of you need to have those guys who are gonna be playoff risers, Mm-hmm. And that team has not proven to have that, but Lakers and
got the free throw merchant
have. He's not proven though, He's like amazing, and he's an MVP candidate number 2 right now.
Not anymore. I said that to you.
2.
That's why I wanted to talk to you about. SGA's been the number 1 this whole time.
I just don't think he's not a Jokic in the playoffs. He's not as dominant as Jokic. He's not as dominant as LeBron. He's not as dominant as I just don't see that.
Dude,
but also,
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, one other thing that I wanted to say about my pick before we move on from our whole pick situation. Talking about teams who are rising in the right time. Cavs are on a 9-game win streak right now.
Wow.
What did they do without? What did they do since they did no trading? They had no trades. They wrote their team all season.
They did make a minor trade. I knew they made a minor trade
at the deadline. They did.
Yeah, I remember Niang. Our boy Minivan.
Yeah.
It was something minor.
Okay, that is minor, but they're basically riding with what they've had for 2 seasons now. You got to talk. They're going to have the closest to the most chemistry as the Celtics. The Celtics are going to have the most chemistry, and then, Cavs are right there. Anyways.
So interesting that the 2 teams that are basically up 10 in each of the conferences are not the safe pick. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Weird.
so
Yeah,
weird.
that's why I like was offering that up with the Cavs. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same thing. They're
Not safe.
49-10, 48-11. You're
It's
talking
not
about
that
a
it doesn't
one game
feel
difference.
safe. It don't feel safe.
But you would, if you're like Simon, you bring it up like if I'm gonna go to the bank tomorrow and bet my house on something, what am I gonna put it on? And we're all putting it on except for Sean.
I
Putting
did
on
put
the
it on it.
Celtics and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Right? You feel safer about that.
Actually, I think Sean's pick is in my opinion, Sean's pick is the best pick. But I gotta say, man, if I hit them Lakers saying that, that just makes me look so good.
I like the commitment. The commitment to the
I
Lakers.
do. I committed it. I
Yeah,
committed it.
You're in.
It's gonna be interesting. This is when the NBA gets.
Oh my
hype.
god, it's
This
so
is when-
fun.
This is when we're talking. This
Well-
is the season.
We're a month away from the playoffs right now. You know?
Yeah, I like a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, you guys are going to start talking about the NBA, but I'm starting to get excited now. Though,
Yeah,
because
man,
the
it's
playoffs
fun.
are
I
coming.
mean, you know what's
Yeah.
crazy about the conferences too? It hasn't changed. The Western Conference is just so much better than the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
The 10th
Long
seed
time.
in the Western Conference right now is 32-29.
Yeah.
The 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, 24-36.
Holy cow.
That's why the Sixers could be in the play-in, man.
Mhm.
That's what Sean's. Yeah, you're a couple
Yeah.
games out of playing.
That's insane, man.
You're tanking right now.
It's insane.
You have tied for the worst 10-game record right now, 1-9.
Yeah.
Which on the other flip side, I want to shout out these boys because these boys are balling. They did end up losing their streak, but the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck is happening in Detroit right now?
Cade Cunningham is happening, man.
My God.
And Malik
9-1.
Beasley, shout out our former Jazz
Yes.
man, dude.
Hell yeah.
Holy crap. He is playing. Talk about, shooting the three at a different level. This dude is playing very efficiently. He is shooting the three at a historic rate. He's the all-time single season, 3-point leader made or whatever it's called. We got
He's
like
awesome.
20 games left.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Sniper over there.
Before we get too excited about that, their 10-game streak began with the Sixers, and then Charlotte, and then they doubled up over Chicago. They beat the Spurs.
Oh my God.
They beat Atlanta. They beat the Clippers. So I mean, they weren't playing high quality here.
Not the cream of the crop.
You did just mention every team besides the Utah
That's in
Jazz.
fun. But they did beat Boston.
I got caught up in the they did beat Boston.
Beating Boston is a good game for
and
them.
the Clippers.
And the Clippers. Back to back too. Was that back? Wow.
Look at the Pistons are actually
Shit,
certified.
they scored
into the-
148 against.
Is that unbelievable?
Hawks.
And they gave up 143. My God.
Dude, the Pistons are good. I'll say it. The Pistons are good.
They're good.
They're not great, maybe,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
good.
They're good, not
They
great.
have. Oh, they got one of my favorite. Okay, the twins, Amin Thompson and Ozart. I think is how you say his name, Thompson. I love how they play, man. They are like the prototypical 3-and-D kind of guy. Actually, not great. They're not the best shooters. They're not prototypical 3-and-D, I guess. But they just play both ends so hard all the time. They don't let transition buckets happen. They're down and back. I love the way they play, and he's got to be the second best player on that team behind Cunningham. I think Malik Beasley's awesome, but I think Thompson's the future of that team with Cade Cunningham. My God. Dude, I would love to have Cade Cunningham on our team right now. Do you think the Jazz could make that happen? Man.
And that perfect segue, man. Talking about the Sixers are doomed. We already know that. But let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Let's end it with that. We have hope. That's the thing. Utah has hope. We have picks build up. We don't really have anybody that we can't trade. Even Lowry we just couldn't trade him before the trade deadline this season. So we're not really married to anybody. And we have all these picks. what can Utah do going forward? I mean, we talked about it. There's some good prospects this draft. Obviously, Cooper Flag is the best,
Mango.
1,000%. What can Utah do in the next few years?
Oh, man, good question. I think I might go down to that. I'm only a couple hours from DC. I may go down. Utah's playing in DC in a few days. That should be a fun game to go to.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we got some.
Come on down.
That's a
This is Utah's-
tankathon. That's a
This is Utah's
game,
best
dude.
time of the season. We got Pelicans tonight and the Wizards in a couple.
Could you
days.
imagine me going to that game and just
Dude,
my God, dude.
Just rooting for the fucking Wizards.
Oh, you
for
play
the-
us, man. We're playing here. You're playing us in 5 games, March 9th, man.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
That's a
think you
week
guys
from
are gonna win
today.
that one.
Should I
Oh.
should I go to that game?
Go to the
Go
game.
to it.
Go.
Go.
I'm
Go.
going.
You're
I'm going.
Okay.
All right,
Go to
I'm
that
going.
game.
And
I'm
maybe,
going.
hey, how about this? All right. We can have you go to the game, send whatever videos, pics, whatever you can.
Okay, yeah,
and Sean
yeah.
be home, and we'll watch it live. We'll just react.
That sounds great. That sounds great, man. That sounds great.
Tankathon. Look at
That's
us.
so
Hey,
funny.
Look at us.
Oh.
Rooting for losses, man. That's the beauty of basketball. It's the beauty of sports, man. What a what a fucking time to be alive.
My God.
I
Thank
love
you.
tanking.
Thank y'all for joining us. That's another episode of the NBA Roundup. Holy shit, dude. It's about to get real.
Yeah, it is.
About to get real. Let's
Love it.
fucking go. And you know what's crazy? It actually matters. You know, Sean, we were talking about it. Sorry to get into something else, but you're not a big fan of the lottery, but
Not
it makes it a little more exciting. We have to stay. This game tonight against the Jazz and the Pelicans has
have to lose.
astronomical ramifications. It really does.
I want a Zion 45 piece tonight. 45 points. I don't even want to worry about
Isn't that crazy?
it.
Look at you guys got tank fever, man.
Yes, we do.
My God.
You would too if you guys wouldn't stop at 21.
We're
they
just
want
a good-
few
we're-
too many.
Hey,
We're just-
Podcast P is done.
We're too
You
good.
guys are
man.
saved.
You guys
he
are-
stopped his podcast.
We're
But you know
too
who's
good.
never going to stop their podcast? Your favorite couch potatoes. Let's fucking go. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out the clips on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, and then full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Till next time, we'll check you on the couch. See you.